Hey guys, yet another video, another conversation with Nita, uncut and unedited. And I just wanted to talk about the importance of family tree, and not really just talk about it, but teach the importance of your lineage, the importance of your family tree. Because most of us tend to have these notions that the family that is important are the ones that I know, the ones closer to me, everybody else doesn't matter. And that's where we're getting it wrong as people, as Abantu especially. We're getting it wrong because of we need to understand our family tree, therefore we can heal the generations that came before us, right? Generational curses are something that occur from generation to generation, right? That's why they are called generational curses. So the only way you can not even try, the only way you can heal generational curses is understanding your family tree. Okay, hear me out. So the importance of your family tree is literally sitting down and building it up from yourself, going all the way up, maybe as far as you can, maybe to your second or third grandmother, whoever is still alive to help you to do it. Take that time and do it. It is important, and I'm going to tell you why it's important, okay? It is very important to know your family tree because therefore you'll be able to, one, start healing the generational curses, and two, start understanding some of the patterns or some of behaviors, all the way of life, where it comes from and where it stems from, because everything in our lives repeats itself because it was never healed. Therefore, it will follow us for generations to come. Okay, so the importance of a family tree is that you need to first put down the whole family tree, put it together. And as you're putting it together, ask the people that still remember, your great-grandparents, whatever, the behaviors that those people had, the things that they did. They worked, they were married, they had children. Your day-to-day basics of how a person would live their life. You need to know that. So not just only writing names on a piece of paper to build your family tree, but also understanding the behaviors and the way of life in which that they lived. Because remember, especially those that have now passed on, our ancestors, right? And it goes from generation to generation. And others are still alive and it's okay. And they still live a specific type of life. They've got patterns, they've got behaviors. And then it becomes something that is already part of your lineage, part of your bloodline. And the only way to heal your generational curses is by understanding those behaviors and those patterns so that you can start cutting off those behaviors and start seeking counsel and guidance on how best to heal them. Okay, sibahlambulula kanjani ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sithole izinto esisifisayo as abantu, right? Cool. So I'll make this example, all right? So half the time we find ourselves in a pickle, right? I'm not getting ABC. I'm applying, let's make an example. I'm applying for a job and I'm not getting a job. I'm constantly seeking for a job. I'm not getting it. And I'm educated. I'm this and this, and I'm not getting the things that I want. First and foremost, you might actually be the first graduate in your family. And congratulations for that, right? But now, generations before you maybe didn't go to school. Generations before you didn't work in 8 to 5, or they didn't, they struggled. Let's put it like that, right? So now you need to understand who in your family, right? Through your father, paternal and maternal side. It's very important to understand both maternal and paternal, as much as the maternal is always the higher side where most of our things are derived from. But you must also understand your paternal to then understand some of the patterns that come within your lineage, right? Cool. Hear me out. So you then look at you sit down and you look at your family tree and you look at all the notes that you wrote. Abobani bebasebenza, abobani bebangasebenzi. You know who worked and who didn't work, right? Who had a business, okay? Who is educated? Who got married? Who has children? And all these things will then draw a picture for you, okay? Let me make an example. You can find a family, right? And this has become one of the common things I have seen, and I started seeing it especially when I started watching a lot of reality TV shows in South Africa, right? That a lot of the families are matriarchy and have no patriarchy as much. There is not a lot of paternal that is involved in the, childbirth, and, the mothers raise their kids and the grandparents and so forth, right? So that becomes a pattern. And now here's the example. Hear me out. So it happens that you are coming from a family where it's just a mother, a grandmother, yourselves. No, people got married, got divorced. Others never got married, others never got children. All right. So that's your family tree. Mostly women left with children, husbands disappeared, whatever the case might be. Right. Then you are sitting there, you've got a child, you're not married, you haven't gotten a proposal, whatever the case might be. Now, I want you to look at this family tree. If your grandmother was never married but had children, then your mom was never married and had children, which is you. Then you are now having a child and you're not married. That's what we call generational. It's a pattern that is repeating itself, right? Therefore, you now need to understand before your grandmother, what happened then, right? You need to know before your grandmother, so your great-grandmother, what happened to your great-grandmother? What happened to her mother? Then now when you follow down that pattern, you realize, no, githi sinenkinga ekuthi abafazi baba nabantwana bashada babi nemizi zabo kube kushona amadoda, or whatever the case might be. How best ngizohlambulula kanjani labantu laba that were wronged? Because remember, a pattern, a generation, somebody was wronged first for it to become a pattern. Simhlambulula kanjani loyo muntu loyo guti naye when their stuff is fixed and we have apologized, for any other generation to come, it must not repeat itself. Okay? So it's the same thing with alcoholism. We would be like, oh, malume bani uphuza kakhulu. Umalume bani is abusive when he drinks and so forth. Now there's the sickness of alcoholism in the family. But then you need to now find out who in the family tree out of abomalume begaphuza, who in the family tree drank so much they became abusive, verbally abusive, never did anything, they just drank until they died as drunks, right? Because remember, it's a generational thing. It will still come back because that person, if they then passed away, that person was never fixed or akahlambululwanga ukuthi akwazi ukuthi abe idlozi elihle eliza nezinto ezinhle. Right? So we need to understand that other ancestors that we have, those that walked before us, abanye abahlambululwanga, abanye they were not fixed. So therefore, it's going to come back into the family and it trickles down. Do you want that for your children? Do you want that for yourself? No. So then you go back and then you start finding that and then you start trying to fix that. And as soon as you're trying to fix that as a family, then it's easy for it not to repeat itself. There's so many things that we go through as abantu. And, I tried to do this video, because a lot of people would learn from it, but I'm saying that it's very imperative, Guti, ngikhulume ngesiZulu or any other language that is going to come as I'm speaking about this. It's very imperative, ukuthi, mele silungise umndeni. Because if asilungise umndeni, we're going to have patterns for years to come. Having unemployment, right? Having alcoholism, having children out of wedlock, having divorces in the family, having abuse in the family. I can name them. Kube, like a thing where it doesn't stop. We are fana. Isn't it that your grandmother went through, your mother went through, you are going through? No, it becomes a thing, right? Even if it's paternal, the same thing. And this is just not only for females. This is also for amadoda. Uguti ukhuliswe ekhaya kwabo ma. Yes, matriarchy. Yes, amadlozi wabo bazohlala bakenzani bakuvikela, but you still need to know your paternal side because that's where your DNA lies, isn't it? So you need to then say, okay, ngilungisa kanjani angeke uhlale ube umntana wakama. If bangakuhlawulanga, find ways for yourself. Find ways for yourself ukuthi ulungise ukuthi ube isibongo sakabo babakho. The important part of it is that so that you can fix the illnesses that comes within paternal and maternal. Because umntana akazalwa umzali oyi-one. And I also want to teach this to single mothers who are bitter about baby daddies. They are not abahlawulanga. They're not taking care of their kids. It doesn't matter. You need to make it right for mtanako. If that man doesn't want to raise the child, the least they can do is make it right for their child to be of that surname that they come from. So that izinto zakubo, the way their traditions, their ways goes accordingly. So tomorrow that man becomes a man who raises his family according to ways that are of his lineage. And fixed where it is broken. Awuzaleli ingani kwabo ma. No. Because not ngesintu kwabo baba uzalela abantwana ukuthi bakhule bahambe nesibongo saga baba. So you then fix that. I know, baby, I'm a baby mama myself. And I understand that we get angry and we are angered and we are upset because somebody doesn't want to do something right. It's fine. Let them go on with their bad self. But the least they can do is that bayenzele umntana umsebenzi. Bayenzele umntana izinto eziright ukuthi ahambe esibongweni sakhe. Because a lot of people right now abagijimelayo ukuyopholiswa by isangoma, ukuyopholiswa by aboprofita are people who have not fixed their lineage. Hence, izinto enizibonayo angitholi umsebenzi angenze because you have not fixed that, and nobody can help you fix that but yourself. And I'm not saying that ungahambi uyobona umuntu. You can go do that, but you need to fix it yourself first, and then trust me, you will thank me later. Fix it for yourself. Sit down and ask the hard questions that your mother doesn't want to answer, that your grandmother doesn't want to answer. Ask them, especially if you're now older, have your own life. Ask them, these are the things that I want to know about my lineage. This is what I want to know about my family. And if you're a mother with a child, know the family pattern of la you had a child corner. Ukwazi ukuthi zingaphindi emntaneni wakho. Because everything that happens, you sit down and you look at your family. You have to feel like, okay, this is what happens to firstborns, right? Okay, firstborns get married, they get children, but their husbands become very emotionally abusive, whatever. Secondborns, they don't really get married, they wander. Lastborns, baba mapara, whatever, right? You then ask yourself, why is it? Because it's not happening only in your family. It has happened before your family became a thing. Before that family became a thing. So you then sit down and you break it down and you fix that. Because fixing your lineage is imperative. It is important. Especially sesazi, especially now that we are woke spiritually as abantu. Bontu. You then know the importance yokuthi isintu sihamba kanjani. Ngilungisa kanjani izinto zami zihambe kahle. You don't have bad luck or misfortune. No, kunamadlozi that have not been, cleansed. Kunamadlozi that have not been satisfied. Kuthi balale kahle laba khona baba amadlozi amahle abalethu okuhle. Right? And when I say that, it goes back also to understanding ukuphahla. Mawuphahla angeke uyophahla wonke umuntu wasekhaya. Ngibiza abakhanyayo Understanding, if you do, and even if you pray to God, let's be realistic. Be it you follow African tradition or you follow Christ, right? Everything that you do has a pattern, has a generational pattern. So when you pray, you're asking for greatness and goodness that has been in your generation. That I want to be better than the generation before me. Not because ngizenza ngcono, but I do not want to be a template of ABC. the misfortune that we call it misfortune. I want this and that. So kufana njengokuphahla. Mawuphahla. Yes, melubize abantu abahlambululwe, abaclean, abanjani. I understand that. But also at the same time, angeke uphahle wonke umuntu. Naloyo ohlambuliwe could have happened ukuthi bekangasebenzi. Akayazi imali. Akasebenzanga nje a day in their life. Bebahlala ekhaya, bayenzani. So you then sit down. Once you understand ukuthi ifamily tree yakho ihamba kanjani, ubiza laba depending ukuthi ufunani. Mawufuna ingane, cela laba baba bazala. Kuthi why mina ngifasiwe ngingakwazi kuba nengane? Right? Ask yourself that question. You're not the first one. And you will not be the last one. But you need to understand who abobani that didn't have ingane. And why did this happen that way? And then mawucela awuceli bonke amadlozi ba. Ucela laba bazala because they have gone through it. They understand lento oyifunayo. Mawufuna umsebenzi uzophahlela laba bebasebenza because they understand hard labor. Their understanding are turning things that you need to work to attain the things that you want. Mawuphahlela business angeke uyophahlela umuntu who had an 8 to 5. Because akayazi business, not a day in their life have they ever been a business person. So uzophahlela bani laba beba nama business, laba bebakwazi ukuthi izinto abazenza ngezandla zabo became a success. Even if they were not millionaires, but they made it work without a loss, right? Then you ask them, okay, yandisani, from what I'm asking you, let it multiply, right? Let it multiply so that then you can then attain the things that you want. Because it's very important. Sizazi no ukuthi, okay, this is who I am. This is where I'm from. I know a lot of us as girls, it's also easy because it's Oshata, and then we get married and change our surnames to our husband's surnames. Cool. But it's also important to understand your husband's family. Because mong I understand, abantwana bakho will still carry the misfortune of that family. Ukulamba, ukungasebenzi, ukuhlala ekhaya, uthole abantu. And another thing I got to notice, people say, no, mara ngiphumelani ekhaya kwama, sikho baningi yithi kuphela. Ask yourself, why are you still staying kwa mamako? Why are you still staying at your mother's house? Ask yourself that question. Because akunangani ezofela kwa mamakhe. Awufuna ukukhula. Awufuna uba nekhaya lakho. Even if uphuma kini uyohlala erumini uyorenta, that is the first step. Because you need to understand, why am I still in the family home? Yini engihlalisa la? Because ningakhohlwa ukuthi nalawo makhaya enhlala kuwo. Because you don't know the whole truth. Kunezilwane ezimhlalisa lapho. Ukuthi nikwazi ukuthi niyandise nikhulise lelo khaya lelo, wena ungabi nekhaya lakho. Uqala from uqasha iroom, uphume kini, uqasha iroom, ubhadala rent. And then you grow from there. You cannot grow until your 30s, 40s, usahlale ekhaya, unganakhaya lakho wena. Because what's going to happen? The generation that comes, abantwana bakho, nabo bazohlala kwakho. Baphume babadala, or bangaphumi at all, bashonele lapho. How many people emalokishini right now abalwela inzindlu zabo gogwabo because bahlala lapho? Kwashona ugogo, bahlala lapho. Bashada, baletha umfazi lapho. Baba nabantwana, nabo bashone abantwana bahlale lapho. Yilwani lezo. And half the time abantu basitshela ukuthi ilwani, it's into ihoho ehamba. No, it's also those things that keep you gini. Ezithi hlala uyandise lekhaya, ulikhulise, nonke nizoshonela lapho, nonke nizolwela lelo khaya. Awufuna ukukhula wena umuntu. Awuzibuzi why ngisahlele? Hayi imali yami ayihlangani, ayikuthi imali yakhe ayihlangani. That's the thing. You feel like ayihlangani, therefore I cannot leave this house. Therefore, I cannot go out and grow as a person. You do not need to have thousands of rands to get out of your mother's house. You need to start from nothing. so that you become something. Izinto eziningi, because I'm starting to realize matriarchy is paralyzing abantwana and the generation because basakwatele abobaba ababashiye ngengane. Ingane yami le ngizoyinakekela. Ube unakekela umamakho abe aguga abe ashona usahlele ekhaya. Uzibone ukuthi ama relationship wakho awasebenzi. The same way that it has happened kumamakho nogogo wakho nobani. Then you sit down and you ask yourself. If you're not asking yourself the hard questions, and if you're not challenging yourself to get out of that back room guinea, to get out of that house guinea, then you've got a problem. Fix that problem. Why is it that our generation sihlala emakhaya? A lot of people have cars, but they still stay at home. They've got a room, bed, TV, fancy things, but basahlala ekhaya. Basathenga igrocery ekhaya. Basancela ibele. Sometimes you need to cut the umbilical cord. Kuncela ibele lakama uphume ube indoda, uphume ube umfazi. Or else you will not grow. You are just cursing your children also. So this thing, when I say it's a generational curse, we can also curse our own children if we do not fix the problems within our own lineage. Understand your family tree. Question where you're like, but I think I'm not comfortable with this. Don't be comfortable with everything because it's comfortable. You need to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. You need to be uncomfortable to grow spiritually as umuntu. You will never grow as umuntu if you do not challenge yourself. A lot of us African people have the problem of not wanting to grow and asking hard questions. And I understand, kuzoba nabantu who are going to be like, but why are you asking these questions? You tell them, because I want to grow. Because it's time for me to grow as a person. I have to grow. I can no longer be in this situation that I'm in. Angifuni ukufana no auntie banibani, angifuni ukufana no malume banibani. This is where it ends. Ngiyayinqampula la, iphelela la. And after that, no more. Because I will not live a life of, what everybody lived. A lot of matriarchy, manipulation that we do consciously or subconsciously. Tina abomama abanabantwana babafana and abantwana bahlawulang. Fight for your child ukuthi ahlawulwe. Fight for your child ayenzelwe izinto kahle. If we're not as grown as you are, bangakuhlawuli, fight. I want to fix it because uzoba nengane. Therefore, I need to fix this. And even if senginazo, I need to fix for them. Anyeke uhlali impilo efanayo ube uthi I've got misfortune. Izinto zamahlanga azihlangani because you ain't trying to fix any of it. You ain't trying to ask the hard questions. Abanye nani lani khona nisakwatela bobaba bashona kudala. Nikhohlwe ukuthi when somebody passes on, that is now beyond. What they did on earth is trivial. It's null and void. Now they're on a path where you need to forgive them. Nibahlambulule babe bahle labakhona banilethele inhlanhla. Umama akakulethele inhlanhla, ubaba akakulethele inhlanhla. Being angry will not fix anything in one's life until ukwazi ukusithoba and say things happen. Things happen, therefore, I need to fix those things that happen. Do you understand me? I hope I'm coming out loud and clear because I've been wanting to teach this. I've been wanting to do a video for a couple of weeks now. And I've taken so long. And I know there's somebody who needs to hear this. I know there's somebody who needs to hear this, who is sitting at their family home, wondering, when am I going to get out of this place? Get out. Get out. Go rent a room. Go bath in a dish. Get out. Start. If you haven't asked the hard questions, sit down, take a diary, start doing your family tree, start putting in notes. We've got smartphones. We've got apps that you can put a family tree and write notes. This person, Uban Bani, was married, divorced, this. Because History repeats itself for a reason. Hence, it's called a generational curse. We are going out there saying, oh, we want to fix generational curses. Mara usahlele endlini gabo gokwako. So how are you fixing that generational curse? Get out first so you can see from the outside. You can never see or understand when you are still in the inside. You can only see and understand when you're on the outside. Hi man, bengaboni logo. No. This is not good. No, this is not right. You know? And that's the only way to fix that. Question, write notes, understand. Because most of you think that you need to be spiritually aligned. You need to be gifted. No, you don't need to run to the next prophet. You don't need to run to the next sangoma. You can fix it yourself. You have it within yourself. Your lineage and your ancestry and your DNA is in you. Egazin lako. Your dreams are very important. It's not only gifted people that dream what needs to be fixed. Liwa now, who is just your normal person who has been called to fix generational curses, fix them. Write your dreams down. Understand your dreams. You don't need to be gifted to do these things. You can do it yourself. Nibe nizala ingane nihlale ekhaya nithi umfana ahlale kubo afike 40. Uyaphuza ngaleso sikhathi but is not even concerned. I've got stress, I've got stress. The same thing as people as they commit suicide. Once somebody in your family has committed suicide, you need to understand who it was and then yamhlambulula leyo muntu so that it doesn't become something that happens within your family lineage. So there's so many things that we suffer as Black people. Zero marriage, left with children, alcoholism, unemployment, uneducated. Hey, we don't have funds. Hey. Uphahlela umuntu waba waya esikolweni na. Ask those that went to school to help you. Ask those that were married to help you. Ask those that had businesses to help you. Those that had a job to help you. And that's the only way you can attain the things that you want. And it's in patience and in forgiveness. Gotando, love reigns supreme. You need to first forgive yourself, forgive others, understand and be patient. And you will see your life changing. You might not see it tomorrow, today, but one day you're going to sit down and say, oh my, this is what Nita was talking about. I've done the work. I've put in the work. Look at the results. There's somebody, an old friend of mine, I said, they got a job and they said they were leaving. I said, when you leave, don't look back. But why? I said, if you look back, you'll fall back in the trap that you were in. You leave. Don't look back. I'm not saying don't take care of your family. No, take care of your family. But don't find yourself in a situation where you need to go back home. You fight. You fight. I said the same thing to my sister once upon a time, years back. I say to her, if you leave the house, never go back. Not because you will be embarrassed, whatever. No. Give yourself the challenge to fight for success, to fight for the things that you want. Fight for them. Stand tall in what you do. Even in moments you feel like I cannot pay rent, make other means and other plans. Pay that rent. Stay in that house. Get that job. Work. Know your worth. Fix. Once you start fixing your lineage, even the people you attract won't be so bad at all. They won't be toxic at all. So it's very imperative to understand your family tree, your lineage. I'm going to leave this here. I'm happy to do a part 2, but I want to leave this here. I want people to think about it. It's 30 minutes long of me telling you or trying to teach you the importance of understanding your lineage. Therefore, you can fix the generation before you and the one that's coming after you. It is important to understand your family tree. It is important to understand yourself. It is important for you to even have the right surname. Do not be manipulated by matriarchy. Fall in line to who you are. Don't fall for because your father didn't do this. Then you go and knock at that door and tell that family, do the right thing. It doesn't need to be millions. Umsebenzi omncane ukuthi uphe umntana wakho isibongo. Uyabatshela ngipheni isibongo sami. Umsebenzi omncane. It doesn't have to be millions. Hlawulani, because a true family would say, "Hi, letani even okuncane. We will take it." Doesn't have to be 10 cows, 5 cows. Can even be 1 cow. Can even be a goat. Let's be honest. Nikwazi ukuthi niqolise, niqhubeke nihambele phambili, niyenzele leyo mntana umsebenzi omuhle. Wena loyo ohlele lapho uhamba ngezibongo zabo mama, they will not do anything for you. I'm sorry to say that. They will not do anything for you. They will push you to a specific level, and then you ask yourself, why am I not succeeding? Because you've got other ancestors that are fighting for you. Grandparents that want you as their grandchild. Petitioning, saying, we want our child. Bayadonsana, bayalwisana. Therefore, it must be done correctly so that you can move from this level to this level. It's those small things that change one's life completely. It's those little things. They seem so big, but I say they are little because it just needs maturity, understanding, and patience. You fix that. You fix that, then you should be okay. Everything will go accordingly. Everything will go to the way it was written for you to live that life. But I'm urging you, do the right thing. Understand who you are, where you come from. Fix your paternal and your maternal. Fix your life. Understand your family tree, your lineage. Get out of that family home. Get a room. Ask the hard questions. And just break those generational curses. Break alcoholism, unemployment, abuse. Break all those things. Children, marriage, break them. Break those things and see your life succeed to where you want to be. Challenge yourself. Do it in silence. Move in silence. If ungakwazi ukuphahla, cala ukuphahla. Ungakwazi thandaza. And you start doing the work. You do the work, you'll see the rewards. So I hope this was a lesson. I'm happy to do a part 2 and, go into depth properly. But I just felt like it was so important. Somebody needed to hear this. So wherever you are, be kind to yourself. Be a better version of yourself. Because that's the only way we're going to live life to our fullest ability. And live within our purpose. Uthi singabobani, siphumaphi. Shine your lights, be bright as the stars, because you are souls having a human experience, brought here to fix what was wronged and those that were wronged. Let go of the anger, the misunderstanding, be patient and keep praying. Thokozani.